Hello and welcome back to Bookish. Today I want to do another Saturday Hodgepodge. I've got a couple of things to talk to you about, starting with me talking about Victober. So my second Victober read this month was Thomas Hardy's Far from the Madding Crowd. And if you've been paying attention to my channel, you know that Thomas Hardy and I have a difficult relationship at best. I struggled through Jude the Obscure in college, hated Return of the Native in high school. Last Victober I read some Thomas Hardy poetry, and let's just say his poetry really didn't speak to me on any real level. But this Victober I thought I'm gonna try again, and I'm gonna try with a book that's been recommended to me by several people on Booktube who are in fact Thomas Hardy fans, and that's why I chose Far from the Madding Crowd. So I'm not going to do a full review of the book, but let me just say that I thought the story was a pretty good story. I thought it was pretty well told. You know, Hardy spends a lot of time establishing his characters, establishing the world in which they live and the community they live in, and you know, kind of like I said about George Eliot and Silas Marner yesterday, that in almost in a real way the community in which they live is kind of like an extra character. There is a great sense of place in the story. And I'm just going to say that overall, I liked it. Overall, I liked it. There are some issues that I have with it, and I'm also aware, I think this is like maybe one of Hardy's first or earlier novels. I'm not exactly sure, but if so, you know, that might explain some of the criticism that I have of the book. Beginning with the idea that his characters are a little bit, well, I think they're kind of one-dimensional. You know, one of the male characters is devoted and trustworthy. One of the male characters is obsessively in love. One of the male characters is a rake. The main female character is strong-willed and capricious. I realize those may sound like more than one dimension, but they're kind of all the same. And, you know, I didn't think the characters were particularly great. And maybe that's just because I had a negative reaction to the way in which Hardy deals with his female characters. On the whole, I have to tell you, I think Hardy's approach to his female characters, at least in this book, is immature. He really, even for I think for a Victorian author, he expresses a lot of kind of backhanded disdain for his female characters. His female lead character in this is a woman named Bathsheba Everdeen. She's beautiful, she's strong-willed, she wants to be independent, but in the end, you know, she ends up destroying the lives of at least two men, with their help, by the way, not all her own, either really destroying their lives through her lack of will to resist either one in their own way, and I just found that to be kind of irritating. The other female characters, one is a harpy, one is just silly and you know, not very intelligent. I just found the female characters to be a little disappointing, but you know, the story is kind of interesting. It's the ultimate kind of triumph of the guy who's been friend-zoned. I think in this book the main male character friend-zoned early on, and then, you know, things work out for him. So you know, it was a good book, and I enjoyed it. I'm not sure that I'm going to go on with Thomas Hardy. Perhaps I'll try the Mayor of Casterbridge next year. So the second thing I want to talk about is next month. Now next month is Nonfiction November, and I'll definitely be reading nonfiction next month, but next month is also NaNoWriMo, and I don't know if you have been a party to Steve Donoghue's nonstop browbeating of all of us to get involved in NaNoWriMo and to write our own novel. Next year. You know, I have to be honest with you, I've never been one of those people who thinks that everybody has a novel in them. Clearly Steve does believe that that's true, and he almost makes it feel like it's your imperative to write. So I've been watching a lot of his videos, and you know, been kind of inspired by Steve to try NaNoWriMo. So this month then is Preptober, and so I'll be doing the preparations for NaNoWriMo next month. And my story, or my novel, is going to be a piece of historical fiction set during World War II. If you watched my channel over the summer, you may know that I was working on a nonfiction project set in the Pacific theater of the war during World War II. And while I was writing this nonfiction, work on this nonfiction manuscript, it kept occurring to me that it might be easier, in a sense, to try it as a piece of historical fiction instead. Or at least it might, satisfy my desire to write on that topic. But, we'll see. That's definitely something I'm going to take on, even though November is absolutely the worst month for me in terms of being busy. I have this channel, I have nonfiction, I have my family. I'll have 155 research papers to grade on November the 19th. I have to sleep, but I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes. I guess that's me being influenced by Steve Donoghue. So we'll see. Also, I want to do some shout outs today. I have 4 channels that I wanted to mention today. 2 of these channels are channels that are new to me. One channel name is called Bookwanting, and the host of that channel's name is Brian. He commented on a video of mine. I went over and watched his video about his favorite writers tag, and he had a lot of really interesting writers and a lot of interesting things to say about them. So, maybe go over and check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And then also, in the same way, I discovered another new channel to me called it's called Girl Who Books Built. There we go. And the young lady who runs that channel's name is Lori. She has a very direct, succinct kind of way of dealing with Booktube issues. She has a great intro. She edits her videos really well, and she has very interesting things to say so far. And so I just wanted to make you aware of those 2 channels. Like I said, I'll leave a link to in the description box below. This morning, or yesterday morning, Friday morning, I woke up and saw a tweet from Britta Bowler in which she tweeted out a Booktube video by a channel named One Book, One Review, discussing, comments and, kind of the "you're reading that wrong" comment, and I just thought that video was really great. I left a comment over there, and I subscribed to her channel, so I'll leave a link to that channel down below. And then I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that Jason Harrigan is back, and his channel name now is Byways in Bookland, and I'll leave a link to that channel down below as well. So the last thing I wanted to talk about here was our book prizes. The Nobel Prize in Literature was announced this week, and I have a feeling that most of us are somewhat disappointed with one of the choices. I think oftentimes book prizes exist just to kind of make us irritated by the person we wanted to win or think should have won not winning. But in this case, it's a little bit different. The Nobel Committee has chosen a person who I think public statements about Milosevic and public statements about genocide should have disqualified him from winning the prize, even though I've never read any of his work. But that then brought me to, reminding you that Robert from Barter Hordes is looking for judges for the next Booktube Prize. You can go over to his channel. I'll leave a link to the video where he makes the call for judges down below. And as Kazan said from Always Doing, the more people who sign up to judge, the better the prize is going to be. The more the diverse group of people are who sign up to judge, the better the prize will be, and the more representative it will be of all of us. So, Robert needs people of all ages, all sexualities, all genders, all races, to sign up to be judges, so that we can get this really representative book prize, which I know is what he wants, and I know it's what a lot of people in the Booktube community want. This is just year 2, and we can make it better. We can help Robert, I should say, make it better, because he's already done a fantastic job. We can help Robert make it better by signing up. So I signed up to be a judge, and it occurred to me as I was filling out the judge paperwork that I am the least diverse person to sign up to be a judge. I almost hesitated to sign up because I thought, well, I'm not sure what we need is another old white guy deciding about books. It seems to be the only people who decide about books oftentimes anyway. But anyway, so, give it a thought. Think about going over there and signing up for at least maybe one of the initial rounds and see what you think. Anyway, I look forward to your comments in the comment section below, and as always, thank you for watching.